Ain't No Grave, issue number 1 from Image Comics. So this is a series written by Scotty Young, who I am most familiar with his series I Hate Fairyland. So it was kind of weird to see him do a more serious story. So yeah, Ain't No Grave is basically about a woman who is trying to find death so that she can kill him to prevent her own death. So gonna guess that that's probably not gonna end well for her because unfortunately, we kind of do need death to happen. We can't have everyone living forever. So yeah, it's kind of funny because this is marketed as a giant issue. It's 40 pages as opposed to 20 pages that you usually get. But a lot of the pages are just splash pages of our character walking. So it still reads like a 20-page issue. But we have our character Ryder, and we flip back between the present and the past. So in the present day, we see her like walking through the desert. Well, walking, I should say riding through the desert. So Ryder is riding through the desert. And she comes across like this wagon that's kind of like all dilapidated and messed up. And she's wondering if this is like a trap. And she finds a doll. And that's when this voice says, "That's mine." She turns around, it's this little girl. And she has a flashback to her own daughter, where her daughter tells her to, stick 'em up, mommy. It's kind of funny because right here, the daughter looks like a grown adult with just a child body. But Ryder basically used to be a bandit. She was very popular. She was called the Revolver Ridge Rider. There was like no bank or stagecoach or train that was safe from her. And she eventually gave up her ways when she found her husband, Darius, and she settled down and had a kid. And she's basically just living the peaceful life. And then she starts coughing up blood. And then we come back to the present day where we see this woman pull a gun on Ryder. And she says, "Please take your gun off my daughter. Like, take what you want, just go." And Ryder throws the doll at the woman and then knocks her down, steals her revolver. And the child's basically like, "You can keep the doll, woman. Just please don't hurt my mom." And Ryder just kind of looks at them and walks off. And all I can think of is, damn, that's kind of messed up. Like, you have this woman and her daughter stuck out in the desert wasteland with nothing. Like, their wagon is broken down. There's no horse. And the only thing this woman has is a rifle. And you take that and you leave. And all I can think of is like, I don't know, maybe help these people. But I kind of get why she's not, because she's kind of on a time limit. But yeah, I guess we just kind of, this is like our first show of this woman is just like has a very hard, cold as ice heart, and this place is a very unforgiving world. So she just keeps wandering through the world. Eventually, she camps and she starts coughing up more blood. And that's when we get another flashback where we see a doctor has basically told her, "Okay, here's some treatments. If you take it, you might be able to live for at least another year. Otherwise, you don't have long left." And her husband is like, "Well, I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can get, my wife to take this medicine." And as he's about to turn to his wife, he sees his daughter running out, saying that she's getting the horse ready for her mom. And basically, you have a conversation between the two. Our writer is like, "I'm not going to die. Like, if I stay here, I only got another year tops. I'm going to go do something about this." And so she abandons her family. She does promise to come back, but yeah, she basically says, "I'm going to go." And so we just have like more of her on this journey. We have like this weird moment where she sees like a bunch of ghosts being baptized in the water. And then the ghosts try to drown her, and her horse has to like pull her out. So I don't know if this is because of the sickness or what, because when she wakes up, there's nothing there. I don't know what she has. I'm assuming it's consumption, because that's something that was killing people back in the day. The whole coughing up blood and stuff, I'm thinking consumption, but maybe it's something else. But eventually she comes across this place called the City of Cyprus. And within the City of Cyprus is where death is at. So her whole thing is, like I said, she's trying to track down death, personification of death, so that she can kill him. So that him dead, he won't be able to claim her, and she will go on living. My whole thing is like, I've seen like, I don't remember if it was Outer Limits or Twilight Zone, maybe both. I've seen stories like what happens if there is no death. And it's not a very pleasant place. You have people dying or people being brutally mutilated and they should be dead, but they're still living because death is not there to claim them. So I have a feeling that this story, this is just me guessing. I'm hoping I'm wrong because obviously I would like to be surprised. But I'm going to guess that she is eventually going to find death. And then we are either going to get two things. Maybe she's going to defeat death at first and then realize that that was a really bad decision and then eventually brings death back. Maybe she becomes death itself. But at some point, she's going to accept the fact that she's going to have to die, and she dies. Like she realizes, you know what? Death is just a natural way of life, and I'm going to spend what little time I have left with my husband and kid and just try to be happy until it's time for me to go. That's my guess about where this is going to go. Again, I hope I'm wrong because I don't know. That just seems like the obvious answer. So I hope it's not that obvious. The artwork itself is pretty interesting. Like it's very stylistic. It's not realistic whatsoever. Like just the body proportions and stuff are kind of off, but I do kind of like this style. It seems to kind of fit. It has I don't want to say it's like Hellboy, but it kind of reminds me of it. Like they're not really the same, but they're the same in the sense that they have this whole like individual stylistic look. So there's that. The character for Ryder, I don't really know much about her. Like even though this is 40 issues and it's all about her, there's not enough of her personality within it. She's very quiet for most of this. So she just kind of seems to be like a very cold-hearted, stoic woman, except when she's around her family. That's like the only vibe I'm kind of getting. And we're also kind of just having a bunch of stuff that doesn't seem to play any part in the story. It just seems to just kind of be like a journey in the sense that the daughter and mom that she meets in the wagon, other than like giving us a way to segue into a flashback, there seems to be no point in them. Other than maybe, I guess, again, segueing into a flashback as well as showing us the kind of world this is, that this is a very unforgiving world. But other than that, I don't see the point in them. Also, the whole ghost baptizing people in the water and trying to drown her, that doesn't seem to really play a part in anything other than showing that she, like, death is coming for her and she's trying to fight against it. So I guess maybe that, like, it seems like there's a lot of nothing here. So for like 40 pages, not much really happens. And there's just a lot of shots of just scenery. It's just her walking through this deserted wasteland or an oasis wasteland or even like a jungle type wasteland. It's just a lot of wasteland, a lot of walking, a lot of nothing, no talking, no nothing like that. Not much action. And then the things that do interrupt the walking don't really seem to play too much of a part in doing anything other than maybe just setting this tone or setting a theme. But even then, it's just kind of like whatever. So, yeah, I don't know how to feel about this. I like well, I don't know if I want to say I like the premise because it's been done before. Well, the whole trying to cheat death thing, I should say. It's been done a bunch of times. Hopefully, they do something unique with it. Hopefully, it's not the same old, like, hey, I killed death, and then I realized that's a really bad idea, so I need to bring death back. Like, I hope it's something different than that. I hope it's something different than, you know what, everyone needs to die. I'm going to just make peace with that and spend the rest of my time with my family. I hope it's something better than that, because again, that's been done before. I don't know. Artwork is good. Premise idea is interesting, but been done before. Actual execution is kind of boring. I get some of the quietness and just the wandering and stuff like that, but I wish there was more. Like 40 pages of just a character walking through a wasteland is kind of boring. I'll just leave it at that. So, yeah, I don't know how to feel about this. Maybe a C, maybe an average grade, maybe a 5 out of 10 for now. Hopefully things get better. Without spoiling, I mean, the way that the issue left off seems like it's, the next issue is going to be a lot more interesting than this one. This one seems to be like way too much setup. It's a setup issue, but it's way too much setup. It's way too much just a character walking quietly through the wilderness. I wish there was more than that. So yeah, there you go. I'm kind of rambling at this point, but that's my thoughts on Ain't No Grave issue number 1. It's interesting, kind of boring at the same time. I will be reading the second issue just to see if things pick up, which I hope they do. But yeah, If you don't mind like a quiet story, if you don't mind like just good artwork but just a lot of nothing, then maybe you might find this interesting. Or if you're just looking for like a good western, maybe this might end up being a good western. Right now, it's just I don't know how to feel about it. Right now, it's just kind of an average western, an average, interesting but boring at the same time. So yeah, there you go. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.